What's up guys, this is GTV lesson number 75, the song Sing by My Chemical Romance. And first up, the songs in standard tuning, and the only part in which we don't need distortion is the intro, because it's actually played by piano, but we can play it on guitar as well. So I'm going to show you how this works right at the beginning of this video. So if you want to play that as well, I recommend a pedal to switch between the distortion part and the clean part. In the intro we play the melody, which is actually played by a piano, and the melody should sound like this. Actually pretty easy. First we put our third finger on the fifth on the second string, pick it once, and then pick the first string. And we do this 4 times. Then we put our first finger on the third on the second string, do the exact same thing 4 times as well. Then we slide down to the second, exact same things 4 times as well. Now we slide down to the first, but now we just do it twice. And now we put our third finger back onto the third on the second string. Twice as well. So we get and that's the whole intro and beginning of the verse. Now let's get to the parts with an actual guitar in them, and we start with the verse, and the verse should sound like this. And we start off on the 7th, 9th, on the 5th, 4th and 3rd string. So we've got our first finger on the 7th on the 5th, third finger on the 9th on the 4th, and pinky on the 9th on the 3rd string. We pick 8 times down and up. And then we slide down into the 5th and 7th 8 times as well. Slide down once more onto the 4th and 6th 8 times. Onto the 3rd and 5th 4 times. And slide back up onto the 5th and 7th 4 times as well. And that's the whole verse. Now let's get to the chorus, which should sound like this. This is how it works. First we put our fingers on the 3rd and 5th, on the 6th, 5th and 4th string, 8 times down and up. Then we jump 1 string down onto the 5th and 7th, now on the 5th, 4th and 3rd string, 8 times down and up. Slide up onto the 7th, 9th on the 5th, 4th and 3rd string, 16 times down and up. Now we jump down into the 8th and 10th on the 6th, 5th and 4th string, 8 times down and up. And now the first chord, that's a bit more difficult. Now we've got our first finger on the 7th on the 6th string, third finger on the 10th on the 5th string, and second finger on the 9th on the 4th string, 8 times down and up. Jump back onto the 5th and 7th on the 5th, 4th and 3rd string, 16 times down and up. Now we put our first finger on the 2nd over the 5th and 4th string, 8 times down and up. Slide up with our first finger onto the 3rd on the 5th string, and put our 3rd finger and our pinky back onto the 5th on the 4th and 3rd string, 8 times down and up. Jump 1 string up onto the 6th, 5th and 6th, 5th and 4th string, 8 times as well. Now back onto the 5th and 7th on the 5th, 4th and 3rd string, 8 times again. Slide down into the 3rd and 5th, 8 times. And back onto the 5th and 7th, 8 times. And in the end we put our first finger back over the 5th and 4th string on the 2nd and just let it ring. And that might got you confused, the whole riff, but I'm gonna play it now in a slow version, and that's what it should sound like. The whole chorus. There's only one part left for the first guitar, and that's the interlude. And in order to play it, we pick the 6th string empty once, and we pick the 5th string empty, put our first finger on the 5th, hammer the 2nd finger onto the 6th, and immediately hammer the 3rd finger onto the 7th right after it. So we get, and we pick the 5th again twice, and the second time we pick it, we hammer the 3rd finger onto the 7th. So we get, and the second time we play it, we go, so we don't pick the 5th twice, but once. And that's already the whole interlude. And there's only one part left, which is played by the 2nd guitar, and I'm talking about the tiny solo while he's singing without a guitar playing right after the interlude. I hope you know which part I'm talking about. If you don't, just listen to the song once more, listen to the interlude and the following part, and you will know which part I'm talking about. And first we put our first finger on the 11th on the 3rd string, pick it and bend it down or up, depends on which one you like better. I prefer pulling it down, so we pick it and pull it down. Then we pick it once more, hammer the 2nd finger onto the 12th and immediately lift it back off. So we get, then we put our first finger on the 12th on the 3rd string, hammer the 3rd finger onto the 14th, and pick the 12th on the 2nd string. So we get, now we do the bending on the 11th again, And now we pick it, hammer the second finger onto the 12th as before, but instead of lifting it off, we put our third finger onto the 14th on the third string. Now again the first finger on the 12th on the third, and hammering the third finger onto the 14th, and the 12th on the second again. And that's already the whole song. I hope you guys liked this video. Leave a thumbs up if you did. Helps me a lot. Keep on subscribing, and I hope I will see you next time.